Madam is joining in a Madam is joining in 2 minutes. Just wait. All students are requested to mark their attendance using the LMS portal.
Okay, sir.
If is there any issue to mark the attendance, please share their screen. Someone in chat box, they are telling that they are difficulty to marking the attendance. What is the problem? आवाज लाऊं का? Yes, please share the screen. Yes. Uh, any problem to mark the attendance?
So I think we are done with the submission of the marking attendance.
Hello and good evening, sir. So me, I have problem with attendance. I
Your first assignment is completed. Any one of you? Are you completed your assignment? Any one of you?
Yes, sir, I have completed. I signed my attendance.
Which subject?
That is, I'm a, I'm a DNHE01 Block 3.
DNHE01. It is completed. DNHE1 is completed or not? Are you written the assignment or type written? Mr. Mustafa,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
you have typed that assignment or you have write the assignment?
I'm writing, but I did not submit it.
It is completed.
I didn't complete it, sir.
Okay. Any one of you who can complete the assignment?
No,
Okay,
sir.
okay,
I
okay.
think
No issue.
we are still on it. But sir, my question is for the front page, like the
Uh,
front cover. The front cover it contains the logo. So how are we going to do it? Like the front page you send it to us on the platform. The
no, please
page up.
repeat the question. Please repeat the question.
I mean the front page of the assignment. How we are going to submit it? Like you said, you should do it in a PDF form. So the front cover it contains the logo,
Y- No
the
issue. You
logo,
can
the school.
you may write the same in the same information which is available in the front page. There is no need to
Oh,
print and paste it above there. You also write
okay.
that page, your name, your enrollment number and details, whichever is mentioned in the front page.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Yeah. Anything else regarding assignment? Okay. How many are you to go for DNHE 4 also? Anyone? You know now there is a DNHE 4 also.
We have not done with the assignment yet, sir.
Now that is okay. My next question is that you have go through the DNHE 4.
No, we have not go through it.
Yeah, just go through it because this is the project. There is no theory class for DNHE 4. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
sir.
just go through it because this is the project issue. Okay. And second thing is that there is required for synopsis. Okay. You know the synopsis. What is synopsis? You know, all of you.
No, we did not know. We did not know, sir.
Okay. Synopsis is the thing, but approval for making the project. Okay.
Okay.
So you
Hello,
have
sir.
to first. Yeah. Tell me, William.
Yeah, sir, I'm still having problem with attendance. So
You
mine
can.
is not working. I don't know what is wrong with it.
No, no.
Since we
Your
started
LMS
up to
portal is
now.
working or not? Your LMS portal is
My
working.
my portal is working, but huh?
Just share your screen. It
Hello?
is possible.
Sir?
It is possible
Sir?
Okay.
to share the screen.
Sir?
It is possible to share your
Let me try,
screen.
sir.
Yeah.
Sir, you are explaining
Okay.
about the project
Okay.
approval.
Yeah.
Sir, you are explaining to me about the project approval.
Yeah. Actually,
So,
okay. Before that, William, you share your screen, try it. Mr. Abukar, there is a one subject called as DNHE 4. In that, you have to create a project. For project,
okay.
you have to prepare for synopsis. Which project you have to done? Okay.
Okay.
There is a one format of synopsis that in a book there is the available in that book. You just download that performa and see. Firstly, read the DNHE 4 book. Okay. Firstly, read this
Okay.
because there is no class for DNHE 4.
Okay, sir.
Okay, just read the book, and in next session we will request madam to tell about what is the synopsis, what is the project. Okay, all are requested
Okay.
to read the book for DNHE 4.
Okay,
Okay,
sir.
in the next session we
Okay.
will discuss about this DNHE 4.
Okay,
Okay,
sir.
sir.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. William,
Yes, sir. It's okay.
Thank you, sir.
yeah, you can go in LMS portal and log in. Go to the LMS portal. Go to the course. Click on that. Go to the my course. My course. Go to the DNHE 1. DNHE 1. Last, go to the attendance. Yeah. Go to the today submit attendance. Click on submit attendance. Yes. Good. Click on present. Click on save change. Done. Okay.
Please, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a couple of questions. Actually,
Okay, sir.
Yeah, William. Just wait. Yes, Mr. What
yes,
is your good name?
um, from the beginning, some of us were not aware that we have to submit attendance. Although we have actually partaken in the course, we were not able to submit the attendance later on. So
Ndawo.
how are we going to deal with this?
No issue.
Ina wannan.
If
Amma
someone
ina
is
da.
missing about the first attendance, we check it that yes, there are some problem is there for marking the attendance in some of the classes. Okay,
Daga daga
we have this
daga hannun
recording session of these
kai abin
classes.
hannunka da ɗaya hannun.
We will check the recording and mark your attendance. No issue.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Second question is related to the the records. I mean, when will they be uploaded so that we can catch up with information we missed for having more explanation about the issue we have?
No, no. I repeat. Please repeat the question.
The session are recorded, right?
Yeah, yeah. The session is recorded.
Yes. Where can we get access to the records?
When you, when
Where can we get access to the records?
recorded session, na. I already share in this recording session also in the LMS portal also, as well as in your WhatsApp group also. Okay, Mr. William. Hello, hello.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Yeah, yeah. I show your where is the recording session is available. Go to your LMS portal.
Yes, I am there.
Yeah. Okay. No problem. Go to the last block. Click on DNHE1.
Okay.
Go to the my course. Go to the DNHE1.
Yes, I am there.
Okay. Go at last.
Yes,
Just wait. Just wait.
I'm
Just
there.
wait. Just wait. Just wait. See there.
Okay.
Recording counseling session for block 1, block 2. Each courses, this recording session is uploaded in your LMS portal.
Okay,
Each of
thank
the
you.
courses, each session, each block, all the session is
Oh,
uploaded in your LMS portal as well as in the WhatsApp group.
okay.
Yes.
Okay,
I
thank
got
you.
it.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, William.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir.
Okay. Any issue at the anything is there?
I think for mine is today is only that I have a lot of absent on those days back, but today I think I
No,
am present.
no,
So
no issue. No
I don't
issue.
know how it will
Already,
be that thing.
no issue. I will be check it in recording session. If you are there, we will mark at the present. No issue.
Yes, sir.
Just
Yes, sir.
just just stop sharing. Click on stop
Hello,
sharing.
sir.
Yes, Ibrahim.
Yes, about the assignment, are we going to type it or handwriting?
You have to choose both the way. You have to have handwritten also, or you have to type the assignment also. Okay.
Okay, sir,
Uh,
thank you.
you are completed the assignment or not?
No, I am working on it.
Okay, no problem. After completion, any of the session we will check it that how to upload the assignment. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
What about the
Anyone?
exam?
Yeah, madam is there. No problem. We'll start the session now. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Madam, please continue. Thank you.
Yeah. So very good afternoon to everybody. It's perhaps good evening for me. So very good evening to everybody.
Good afternoon, ma.
Yeah. So
Good
how are
evening,
you?
ma'am. Evening.
Hope you all are doing well. Okay. So I'm very sure all your doubts must be clarified right now. So today, as I discussed with you all, are you all ready with the copy, pen, and likewise? Yes. Are you ready?
Yes, we are.
Yeah. Because
Madam,
today,
sorry for interruption.
yes, sir.
Yeah, actually, before you joining, I told all the learners that please read the go for the DNHE4.
Yeah, yes, sir. I was
Yeah,
listening that.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
already joined, so I listened that. So tomorrow we can discuss a little about it.
Okay, madam, no problem, no issue.
Yeah. So today we are going to learn, as you must have seen in the DNHE blocks, that there is a very important chapter, what we say as in the meal planning. You know, like when you read about the balanced meal, when you read about the nutrients, the very important point that comes into picture is that how you are gonna divide these nutrients, how you are gonna plan a diet where you are covering up all the nutrients for your client. If your client happens to be a vegan, or if your client happens to be a lacto-vegetarian, if your client is a plantarian, or if your client is a flesh eater, you should be so efficient that whatever are the food choices of your client, You should be able to satisfy the needs of your client as per their food choices. Is it clear to everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, here I'm going to take dual topic. Dual topic would be how to do the case study procurement. And also, plus, I shall be discussing with you how to calculate the idle body weight, how to calculate the BMI, that is body mass index, and what is the meaning of the BMI. Then, finally, when it comes to the calculation of the calories for them, so how basically we do that. Okay. So it is not lacto-ovarian, it is actually lacto-ovarian. There are so many people who do not consume maybe meat and meat products, but they consume the animal byproducts, for example, milk, and they also consume eggs. I'm not sure for over there in Nigeria how it is, but universally there are certain people who do not consume, I repeat again, they do not consume the meat and meat products as in the terms of the flesh, but they do consume the byproduct from the animal. That's what we say as the milk, animal milk. Because if you are having animal milk, what is milk? Milk is basically the secretion from the breast or maybe the udders. If it is a human, we call it as breast. If it is an animal, we call it as udders. So, from the udders of the, I would like to say, a living being. So, when you are taking something which is from the animal, but you are not eating the animal directly, plus you also have the eggs, then you can fall under the category of the lacto-ovarian. OVATARIAN. So that's what it is, lacto-ovarian. So do you mind if I ask that how many of you fall under this category? Is there anybody in this group who doesn't consume flesh but consumes animal milk as well as eggs? Birds' eggs, especially? No? Okay. So, how many are flesh eaters over here?
No,
Could you
ma'am.
raise your hand? Could you raise your hands, those who are flesh eaters? Okay. 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 Hmm. Okay. So you can just make your hands down. Now, those who are vegan, do you know the meaning of the word vegan?
Those that does not eat flesh.
Yeah, vegan means who won't eat anything related to animal and animal byproducts, not even animal milk, not even cottage cheese, not even cheeses, not even curd or yogurt, nothing. So, Frank, are you vegan? Because you have raised your hand. Usman, are you vegan? Okay, so Mary, are you vegan? You can unmute yourself and speak. Okay. So now everybody has made the hands down. So probably nobody is vegan. Have you come across any vegan in your society or maybe your friends and family? I am assuming then it is a no. All right, but this is a trend which is increasing day by day worldwide. It's just not about one part of the world. I would like to say it is increasing worldwide, where people are basically converting themselves and they are not eating anything related to animal or maybe the animal products, and that is what the vegan, from the animal milk they are shifting to the plant milk. Anyways, so while just procuring any kind of the case study, it is very very important for you to ask the eating preferences and the habits of your client. Now moving on, so very important thing which I would like to discuss with all of you, that is called as that in your books also you must have come across a word that is called as RDA, recommended dietary allowances. Did you come across this word? Did you read this word, recommended dietary
Yes, ma'am.
allowances?
Yes, ma'am.
No.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good.
No.
So, no. Okay. So, Helen, could you explain me this? If you have any idea regarding the RDA, what is the meaning of it? Okay, Faisal, you can answer me.
Yes, ma'am. It is talking about the recommended amount of nutrients that is needed by an individual. The exact amount
Okay,
of nutrients that is needed by a certain individual.
good, very good. Okay. Anybody else would like to contribute here? Okay. So, when we talk about the RDA, that is the recommended dietary allowances. So, these are the basically ones which are after so many aggressive researches. It has, we all have, as in come across. So, the recent RDA, they have been published in the year 1999, and then it came 2022. So as in we have the latest one, that is the in the 2022. I would be trying to share it with the Joshi sir so that he can put it in your respective groups, because I have the recent copy which was published in 2022. So I would be sharing that with Joshi sir so that you all can have the access to the access for the same. In there you will come across the different age group, and in the different age groups you would be coming across that what is the requirement of the carb, protein, fats, as well as the micronutrients, that is calcium, iron, zinc, magnesium, and so on. So whenever we are learning any nutrient, I have always pestered upon this fact that you know eating this and that is fine, but what is the quantity that you should be consuming? It is something which is very very important when it comes to nutrient, because excess of anything is bad. As you all know about the deficiencies, that the other lecture we covered, that if you are deficient in a particular nutrient, this is a deficiency which could be caused. Similarly, the high amount, what we also call as the upper intake of any nutrient, can also lead to the toxicity. Toxicity means it would not be a very good idea for the heart, for the liver, as well as for your kidneys, because liver is the organ of the metabolism. And when we talk about the kidneys, they are the one which are going to remove all the kind of the metabolic end products, especially the nitrogenous waste. So in this kind of a context, it is very very clear, as we rightly say, that excess of anything and everything is bad. And similarly, the underconsumption of any nutrient is also bad, because it will lead to the deficiency. But most of us do not give importance to the toxicity. What is the meaning of upper intake, or maybe which would be high intake for your body? Because at the end of the day, whenever something is high, your liver and kidney have to really, I would like to say, tolerate this kind of a issue, or maybe tolerate the upper limit of any nutrient. Very simplest example is that if you are not physically active and you consume high amount of I would like to say visible fat, or high amount of carb rich kind of a food, so whatever is not utilized by the body, if you are eating more means you are sedentary and your physical activity status is also very very poor. So whatever then you eat becomes a little more for you. So if you are eating more, then what is going to happen, that this extra calories at the end of the day, they are going to be unutilized by the body. And when certain thing is unutilized by the body, then it could be converted into the form of the storage nutrient, what we also call as fats. And that is a reason then some people, first they become overweight, and after some period of time they actually become obese. Is it clear to all of you? Like we always discuss about deficiency, it is equally important to understand that we do not have to overdo any nutrient. Nowadays, there is a world where people consume lot of proteins. You know, it's a wave that everybody would be counseling you, or everybody would be saying high protein, high protein. I always say protein has to be in that amount only where it is required, the way it is required, which is 1 gram as a, I would like to say, a good amount per kg per day. If you are 50 kg, you need to have 50 grams. If you are 70 kgs, you need to have 70 grams. You know, ICMR now, that is Indian Council of Medical Research, now pesters upon that if you are very sedentary in your lifestyle, then probably your wear and tear in the body is also very, very low. Of course, when you are physically active, your wear and tear is also very high. You require protein for the recovery. But when your physical activity is not there in your lifestyle, which is very, very common nowadays, sedentary lifestyle, especially during COVID, also, we have seen that people had a upper limit of sedentary lifestyle because what to do, where to go for walk, the gyms were closed, everything was closed, it was locked down. So people really had a sedentary lifestyle, but nobody stopped eating. Everybody was eating the same quantity of food or maybe more because they were there at home. So they were eating a little more quantity as per required. So which led to what? Which actually led to high amount. That means whatever the energy you were consuming and whatever the energy you had to utilize, there was a kind of a imbalance in that kind of a scenario. And due to that imbalance, it really led to a kind of a, or maybe a series of events where, you know, a person actually became overweight first, and then the person also looked obese. Is it clear to all of you?
Yes, mom.
Okay, okay, that is fine. So when I talk about that, you know, making a diet plan or maybe designing a diet for a person, so could you please share with me, or you can type it in the chat box, that what are the factors that you need to consider while planning a diet for a person? One factor we have already discussed, that is called as RDA, that is recommended dietary allowance. We really have to see the standard, and then we should be very, very careful to meet those standards in the dietary plan. So, one is the RDA that Faisal has already answered, recommended dietary allowance. So, moving on to another, exactly. So, as Mohammed has said, the another would be age. As per your age changes, that means when you are in your growing years, you know, growing years means when you are a child, when still your organ maturity is happening in the body, your organs are still not mature, and according to your bone length, your organs are still about to get to the kind of, I would like to say, a kind of the number of the cells and even the increase in the size of the cells. Okay. So I want all of you to please write down. Okay, okay, Sufyan, that is good. But please wait for some time as I am explaining the age factor only right now. So just stop writing. Let us discuss this first. So I want all of you to please write down two terminologies. I'm writing that in the chat box so that you all can copy. So can you read, one is called as hypertrophy and the other is called as hyperplasia? Could you all see this?
Yes, ma.
Yeah.
Yes,
So one is
mom.
hypertrophy, which means hyper means high, trophy means size of the cells. And the second means hyperplasia, where hyper means high or increase, and plasia means in the number of the cells. So when we define this word growth, or when we say that the person is in its growing years, so what do we mean by that? We mean that these are the two processes which are taking place or which are continuously happening in that child's body. That is why you would be seeing that there is increase in the height, there is increase in the bone length. According to the increase in the bone length, the muscles are going to increase, because muscles are like the cloth. The muscles are like the, I would like to say, the shield for the bones. They protect the bones. And for protection of the muscles, you require what? You require adipose tissue. So the arrangement in the body, which happens in the growing years, is that is you increase in the bone, size or maybe the length, and correspondingly there is an increase in the muscles or muscle fibers, like face bone, face cut, and this is what skin, the muscles, the facial tissue, which is protecting it. And to protect the muscles, we have adipose tissue in between the muscle fibers. So this is how the body arrangement is there, where in the growing years, continuously two processes are happening. That is increase in the size as well as increase in the number of the cells. So till the time you reach to the adulthood status, which could be somewhere between 18 to 21, it could be little different as per the gender. Now we do not use the word sex. We have to use the word gender, because sex is actually sex, the word it is allocated for. Gender is the word what we use to define male, female, or maybe any undeclared gender which a participant maybe is not comfortable. But male and female, they have differences as in terms of the reaching to the adulthood or reaching to the adult height. Generally in the female, when she starts mensurating, when first mensuration or first menstrual cycle occurs, what we call as menarche, after that hardly 2 years more, she can have a little bit of growth in terms of the height. But when we talk about a man, they can grow till, in terms of height I'm talking, till 21 years of age. So till that time, there is an increase in the hypertrophy as well as hyperplasia. That is how you define growth. So as per the age, you have to be very, very conscious. Like in the coming half an hour, we are going to discuss about ideal body weight. So you need to understand this concept that in the children, whenever we discuss about growth, we see two parameters. We see weight and we see height for that. But whenever it comes for the adult, we cannot say that you are 40 years old, so you need to have more weight, or you are 50 years old, so you need to have more weight. Like you see in children, if a child is 16 years old, that child should have a more weight because of the height, and otherwise also the increase in the body composition as compared to a child who is 10 years old. But can we say like this for an adult? That if you are 20 years old, you can have this much of weight. But when the same adult becomes 50 years old, then they have to have more weight. No. That means in adulthood, it is all about that your bone length has stopped. Hyperplasia, that is increase in the number of the cells, have stopped. So your muscle and fat tissue should not be increasing unnecessarily, especially about the fat tissue. So if you are eating more, you are not going to grow like this. But if you are eating more and you are not utilizing those calories, you can grow like this. Increase in the surface area. That's what we define as overweight and finally obesity as per the status. Okay. So absolutely right that while designing the calories for some person, we have to see their age whenever it comes to the children. But the moment it comes an adult, we do not see age. Rather, with increasing age, you need to be more careful what you are eating. You just cannot eat something like that or just like that, because with growing age, with every year added to a age, your metabolism is going to go low. So it is altogether more important to be physically active the moment you are aging. That means your chronological age, like today you are 25, tomorrow you would be 30, then you would be 35. That means at the age of 35, you require more to take care and be conscious of your physical activity status as compared to when you were 22 years old or maybe 25 years old. Okay. So this was about the age. Then the another is that the another student wrote, I feel so good that you all are writing the factors. It is very good. So the next factor, what is written is sex, which I have converted to the word gender. Yes, absolutely. There is a kind of a primary difference what God has created in us as being male and female, not only in the primary sex characteristics, but also in terms of the hormonal difference. Like there are three major hormones when we talk about estrogen, progesterone, and the third one is the testosterone. Both these genders have estrogen also, progesterone also, as well as testosterone, but at different levels. That is why a male looks like that and a female looks like that. So, with more testosterone, the way they walk, their voice texture is very different as compared to female who has more of estrogen as well as progesterone. And I would like to say over here that on an average, because of high testosterone, a male can synthesize and a male has more muscle mass as compared to a female. However, if that male also becomes very, very sedentary and female activity level is much better than a male, then she can also improve her muscle mass or do the muscle toning. But let us consider a case that there are two individuals, one is male and the another is female, and they both have decided that they want to increase the muscle mass. Let us hypothetically take it that they both are of same age, they both are of same weight also. Let us hypothetically think, and they both are also we are going to feed them with same kind of a diet. Okay, protein here also, protein here also, same. But you would be seeing it by yourself that a male has much more better status to improve upon the muscle mass as compared to a female. The again I would like to pester over here, the answer to this question which I am again going to highlight is, it is called as the testosterone. Whenever we see the female athlete, they really have a very hard time in increasing their muscle mass as compared to a male athlete. So, nature has designed us like that. The body composition that male can improve, male can build up also more muscle mass as compared to a female. So, but still, I don't believe in this traditional kind of a thought that male needs more protein as compared to female. No, I do not believe in this traditional thought. But I would definitely believe in this that both require good quality kind of a protein. But we should never forget the gender difference because of the hormone. Okay. So, absolutely right. The another one is, as per written, is activity level. Correct. Whether you are a sedentary lifestyle individual, whether you are a moderate lifestyle individual, or whether you are a heavy worker. Heavy worker also means that one is doing the heavy work. For example, you are a weightlifter, or you are an athlete, or maybe you are a Zumba trainer, or maybe you are a labor person, labor class. And also in the heavy worker, it would come like you are a diseased person. You are suffering from typhoid, you are suffering from TB. You may see that patient lying down on the bed, but the BMR of that patient is very, very high because of that infection, because of that disease. So even such kind of patients would also be coming under the heavy worker. As another person has written, or maybe not written, I am telling you, that is called as the health status. I think I read it. Somebody wrote health status. Correct. Oshaba wrote health status. So definitely, what is your disease state, or what is your fitness levels, they all would be deciding the amount of the nutrients you need, especially in terms of carb, protein, fat. You cannot say somebody is sedentary, so we have to give them less calcium. Somebody is physically very active, so then only we have to give them calcium. No. What are recommended dietary allowances for the micronutrients? They are the minimum ones. That means whatever health status you have, everybody has a deserving right to eat that much or that amount of the micronutrients. However, whenever we do the diet planning, we only do the diet planning majorly in terms of calculation of calories. We do not do the calculation of micronutrients. Like if somebody is underweight, you will say you take full calcium. And if somebody is obese, you would say you don't take calcium because you are obese. No. If a patient is obese, that is something to do with the percentage of fat in their body. It has nothing to do with their bone like that, that you start attacking their micronutrients. Rather, when somebody has a disease state, they require nutrients more. This RDA means the bare minimum. Everybody needs to have X amount. For example, if I talk about calcium, everybody needs to have 1000 milligram of calcium every day. But if you are suffering from any fracture or maybe bone health issues, your requirements would go up. That doesn't mean only you require 1000 and the other who is obese or somebody else would be requiring half what you require. No, they are the bare minimum requirement. That's why we call them as the RDA, that is recommended dietary allowances. The other one is definitely culture. I fully second this thought. Whatever culture you belong to, whatever the culture also decides your eating habits. Culture also decides your preferences. Culture also decides a kind of the food culture which is there at home. I used to do this activity with few of my students, in the class. I have always done this kind of activity, that I have asked them that if I give you 1000 rupees, how you are gonna utilize them. Somebody can say I will do saving, somebody would say I will do shopping, somebody would say I would go and buy this and that. And there are certain people, certain students who would say that I would go and buy nuts for me, I would go and buy fruit for me, I would go and buy XYZ for me. So what I'm meaning to say, that everybody has a different culture and a different kind of a thought related to food. There are few people who feel that eating out culture is not good. We should always eat at home. There are few people who believe that, we don't have time at home, so we should only be going out and eat, but probably once in a day, one meal, they always have it outside. But there are certain people who believe no, we should only be eating at home, and probably once in a week they would be going out to eat. So this is something called as a food culture. One culture is what region you belong, what culture you follow at your home, whether you belong to this religion, whether you belong to that religion. And there is another thing which is called as a food culture, because food is like a psychological thought. Food is the one which gives you satisfaction. Like if you come to India, every day if I am going to feed you Indian food, maybe 2 3 days you are going to like it, or 1 week you are going to like it, but after that you will miss your food which you have been eating in your own place for such a long period of time. You probably would be missing the way you dine with your family, the way you sit with your family. So food is something which is also very much, it has lot of psychological, it has got lot of social kind of feelings and emotional feelings with it. Lot of times we socialize with each other on food, that we go out and we have a good time. Family also goes out and they enjoy the ambience, they enjoy the food. So it is all about the social culture, or all about the psychology what you attach with the food. So it's always not about just the taste. It's also about the habits which you have been taking from such a long period of time. And they get registered in your mind and you associate your feelings with it. Lot of times when students go to hostels, they feel very, very bad. Why do they feel bad? Because they miss their home more in terms of food. They miss that feeling. They miss that taste on the taste bud. Maybe hostel food is good, but they always find it bad. The reason is that they miss that kind of a taste, the food culture which they had at their home. So do you agree with me this? Do you agree?
Yes, ma'am, agreed.
Correct. So
Ma'am.
the another very important is called as the economic status, or maybe the economy, that is directly related to the buying capacity of your client. A lot of times I have overheard from people, like I did one kind of a survey, a very small study which got published also. And in that study, I did a very small survey which was related to that. what do they think about the dietitians? What is the kind of the I would like to say the adjectives or maybe the feelings that they attach with the dietitians. So lot of time, this was a study I did long time back. From them, then I think we all have evolved a lot, but still there are certain things which have not changed. And lot of people believe dietitian means who is very expensive. Dietitian means who asks you to do dieting. And dietitian also means would always be recommending you some expensive foods. So, have you ever come across this kind of a thought that people think like this? Okay, Faisal, you can share, please.
Yes, because these are professionals in their own fields, and then when you usually want to consult them, you have to pay some fees for that. So people
Correct,
would think
correct.
that
So
they
that's what
are
I'm
more
saying.
expensive.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, we are not like that, but sometimes people think. And I also feel that why people think like that, because there are certain dietitians and certain diet consultants, certain nutritionists who actually would be really recommending very fancy kind of food, to the people, which is very expensive. So, why all the time in the nuts you have to talk about almonds and walnuts? Why not peanuts? Peanuts are equally good. They have got good fatty acids, they have got good amount of proteins. Why all the time we have to talk about nuts, as in terms of, again I would like to repeat, almonds and walnuts, because they are little expensive. You can definitely recommend them, but what I'm meaning to say, you need to ask the comfort zone of your client. Why can't we recommend them some seeds like flax seeds, like pumpkin seeds, like sunflower, safflower, sesame? I discussed with you in the other lecture. I wrote the names also, because they are a little nominal. They are not that expensive. Especially if I have to talk about the flax seeds, they are not that expensive. So your client would get the idea that, if we want a good nutrition, that doesn't mean that we really have to go light on the, go heavy on the pocket. We can also go for certain foodstuffs. Like, why always recommending strawberry and kiwis for vitamin C? Why not Indian gooseberry? Why not guavas for that matter? Kiwi has good amount of vitamin C, but it is a little expensive. So why not to recommend guava for that matter, or Indian gooseberry for that matter? Which has got equal amount or perhaps more amount of vitamin C, even as compared to kiwi as well as the strawberries. Okay, so this is what my major submission to all of you, which I would was wanting to highlight, that yes, what is the economy, I mean to say that how is the economical status of your client. Diet means planning in a way which is balanced for all. So you should be really considerate about the economical status of your client. Anyways, moving on, we come to the health status. Absolutely right. That health status means that whether somebody is ill, so the calculations would be different. Why calculations would be different? Because a patient doesn't only need those nutrients for daily life, day to day. The patient also needs the additional nutrients in order to recover. And after your patient has recovered, you can go back to the recommended dietary allowances what were there. You do not have to overfeed them with the stuff. So definitely the health status. Similarly, if your patient is suffering from dyslipidemia, or if your patient is suffering from diabetes, or if your patient is suffering from heart problems, probably there could be certain food groups which you would be wanting to reduce in their diet, and you would be more careful to increase certain foodstuffs in their diet. Like in all these three health issues, the lifestyle diseases and disorder, you need to increase the amount of fiber, you need to increase the physical activity, and you need to be very very careful about the carbohydrates, the type, and also about the visible fat. You need to focus on the invisible fat. So definitely health status. The another, I would like to say, the point which would be very very useful. I hope you all are writing the headings of these points.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I think I lost my connection and I didn't realize. Am I audible? You are able to hear to me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
sir.
I am really hopeful that you all are writing these points. Are you? Whatever the points we are discussing,
Yes.
at least the headings you are writing down. Okay. They are there in your books as well. But still, it is important for all of you to write these points. The another very good. That's good. It's good to read in the chat box that you are doing. Okay. So the another very important factor what we discuss is called as the life cycle. Here at the life cycle, I would like to highlight that what do I mean by this word? That's what I am saying, life cycle. That means at what stage of life you are right now. Are you a child? Are you an adult? Are you a pregnant woman? Are you a lactating woman? You know, which, or maybe you are a middle aged man who is 40, 45 years old, and probably there is lot of stress of the work and there is less of physical activity. Perhaps physical activity is getting less day by day. With each day passing, you are being less and very, very less physically active. So that is called as the stage of the life cycle. Of course, if you are pregnant or maybe lactational women, so altogether there is a high requirement of the nutrients because you are not just leading your life, you are basically at a stage of supporting the life or some other individual. That's the fetus which is growing inside you, which once would be fully grown, would be called as a, what shall I say, infant, what most of the people call it as child or maybe a baby. So that fetus is 100% dependent on you for each and every nutrient inside. So, this is how the different stages of life could actually pose different requirement on the health of an individual. Okay. So, what else? What else do you feel would be deciding the energy requirements or maybe the nutritional requirements? What another thing according to you would be decided? Yes. Anything else you want to discuss? You feel that would also be deciding the factors? Okay, very good availability. Absolutely. That, like the other day, we discussed about flax seeds. You have not heard about it. Probably it is called as some different kind of a name in your country, or maybe it is not available. So that is how we sometimes. One second, please. Yeah, sorry for that. So sometimes it happens that maybe the availability is going to be very, very poor because that particular environmental conditions do not support the growth, or maybe the climate is like that they do not support, and due to which certain these kind of foodstuffs, they acquire a name what we call it as imported, because you have to import them from some different area. Like, I would like to give over here one more example of one grain which is also called as a superfood, that is quinoa. I would just write it on the in the chat box. Quinoa. So quinoa is one of the millet which is basically not available in India. It is the one which has to be imported because it requires minus 18 or minus 20 degrees Celsius, to grow. Very frosting kind of environment. So definitely a lot of people first in India, they were not knowing about it. And after some period of time, when people started knowing about it because of its protein content, the amino acid, essential amino acid ratio in that. So it's a very good grain, especially in terms of the protein, but it is quite expensive. Why? Because it is imported. Similarly, another example I would like to give is olive oil. To get the olives out of the, first is to grow olives and then is to get the oil out of the olives. It's not easy. The output of the oil out of the olives is little, very, very low. That is also one of the reason that olive oil, one is that it is imported and the another is it is a little expensive. Similarly, another example which I would like to quote over here is of the black rice. Do you remember the other day I have shown you the black rice?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So which is not at all the staple diet probably in your country and also in my country, but there is some country whose this black rice is definitely like a staple for them. So what happens is that availability is absolutely right statement. Whatever is not available in our country becomes expensive and the affordability becomes a question mark. Okay. So very important point, very right point. The another point which I would like to highlight over here is also the cooking methods what you are going to do. Like if you are living in a kind of a area where lot of cooking methods couldn't be done, you just have to do the cooking in that kind of a way. Like there are certain countries who are very fond of blanched food, boiled food, or maybe grilled food. Like if you have a breast portion of a chicken, okay, now you give it to people in different countries. Like if you give it in India, they would like to apply a lot of oil and lot of masalas also to it, and they would like to cook it in some different way. If you give to a person who is a UK citizen or US citizen, they may be doing it in some different way. If you give it to the people who are in Japan, they may be liking to boil it, and after boiling it they will add salt, pepper, and very little amount of oil, and they will have it. So, what are the cooking methods that you use? Sometimes also could be increasing the amount of certain nutrients, and sometimes it could be decreasing the amount of certain nutrients. Like when you eat too much of deep fried things, then there could be leaching of, apart from obesity, there could be actually leaching of fat soluble vitamins in that oil only. So food, cooking habits and the way the food, the attitude towards the food, the again I would like to say the culture related with the food. And another could be religion. What is your religion? What does your religion say so? And what your religion has taught you to eat and what not to eat could definitely be affecting your food choices, right? And the another could also be the environmental changes. There are certain countries where there is a very very I would like to say tremendous changes in the environment. Those due to those tremendous changes, it would be like that in certain climatic conditions they would not have accessibility to certain food products, and probably in certain climatic conditions they can only grow certain types of the crops. Okay. So one thing which rules, which is very, very important in designing the diet for anybody, that one thing is called as acceptability. Wherever you belong to, whatever you do in life, you always have to give importance without when you are designing a, I would like to say, diet plan for some individual. That is called as acceptability. If your diet planning is 100% accurate, but it is not being acceptable to your client, then it is a complete wastage of talent as well as the time of both of you, you yourself as well as your client. Because we feel whatever the changes we are doing is for good, but doing sudden changes in the lifestyle of an individual, doing so many changes in the lifestyle of an individual, or doing the changes without the consent of your client can actually be leading to the failure of the following part related to the diet plan. Is it clear to everybody? Is it clear to everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So when we talk
Yes.
about meal planning, so these are the major prerequisites which we have to keep in mind while doing the meal planning of an individual. They are really very, very important. And this should be always kept in mind while planning it for some individual. Okay. Now, before we go to exchange list or something, there are two basic calculations which I would like you to do. I would be writing those formulas so that you all can do that. And we would also be understanding the meaning of those calculations. And if today the time is going to permit, I'm going to explain you the meaning of the word exchange list. And tomorrow, when we are going to meet, we would be continuing with exchange list, meal planning. And most importantly, I'm going to teach you how to take a case study if some client comes to you. So, is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. With the help of those calculations, there is going to be a mini homework also to all of you. That mini homework is just for your practice, okay? Which I'll be telling you once I'm ending the session. But before that, let me teach you very, very important calculations, what we call as calculation of the IBW. IBW means, I'm writing in the chat box,
I deal with you.
ideal body weight. Are you able to see that in the chat box?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Now, most important, we come across this that what is the meaning of the word ideal body weight? Okay. So I'm writing this definition for adults. First, we would be writing. For adults, it means the ideal weight as per height. But for children, it actually means ideal weight for age and ideal weight for height. You first write it down, then we shall understand this concept. So, ideal weight as per height in an adult, I justified this statement that for an adult, since height stops, that's what you are called as an adult. That means your organs are not going to grow now because your height has stopped. So, you cannot say that your age is growing, so your weight should also be growing. No. So, the weight has to be according to the height. If you have more height, you should have more weight. For example, if my height is 5'6", my weight would be different. Let it be 60 kgs. And if my height is 5'10", then again, my weight would be different. It has to be more as compared to an individual who is 5'6". Why? Because in the difference of 5'6" and 5'10", there is a difference in bone length, then definitely there is going to be a difference in muscle mass. And definitely, according to that, there is going to be difference in the adipose tissue. So when we talk about children, so for children, it is all about ideal weight for the age, because children are growing. So there are standards by World Health Organization that at this age group they should be having at least this much of weight, and the weight should be supported by height because our genetics are different. If your parents are very, very tall, then you tend to be taller in your class as compared to your peer. But if your if your parents, they are little shorter, then you could be a little shorter in your class as compared to your peer. Okay. So if you have more weight as a child, but your height is less, weight is more. That means you are obese, because childhood obesity is also increasing day by day. That's why I am mentioning it over here. Similarly, if your height is more, that is, your height is good, you are growing, but your weight is not growing. That means in that only muscle tissue, your height is getting adjusted, and very soon this child would have malnutrition, especially in terms of undernutrition. So, is this concept clear to all of you in terms of ideal body weight in adults as well as children? Is it clear to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, now let us learn the formula, how to
Yeah, ma'am.
calculate. Yes, 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 Abdul. Yes, Abdul, I'm listening.
Yes, I said, Mark, will you please help us to repeat it again so that
Sorry?
I want you to please help me to repeat it so that I will understand it more.
I'm sorry, Abdul. I'm not able to understand. Could you type it in the chat box so that I can understand it, please? Yeah.
Feel that he did not understand. He did not
Mohammed,
understand.
Mohammed, we are coming to body mass index. I have not come to the body mass index. Kindly be patient. First, let us understand the ideal body weight, and then we would discuss body mass index also. Okay. Okay. You said you didn't understand, so you want me to repeat this concept. Okay, no problem. So I said this concept is basically called as ideal body weight, which means what should be your weight according to the height when it comes to adult. We are only called as adult because we have stopped growing in terms of height. You and me are adults. More clarification. More clarification, I guess, would come, Isaac, when I am telling the formula. Then you would be understanding how to calculate it. So I think he said, I don't understand. That means he wants me to repeat it again. Okay. So that's what I'm doing. That when you are an adult, that means your height is at a certain level. So your weight should match with that height. If it happens that your weight is more as compared to that height, that if we say the standard of this weight is that this person of this height should have this much of weight, but if that person has more weight as compared to this, then it is not ideal, because all your joints, weight bearing joints, have to bear that extra weight. Similarly, I was saying this concept is different in children. What do I mean by that? In children, the ideal body weight means, is that weight accurate according to the age of the child, or is that weight accurate according to the height of the child? Like there are certain children which are genetically very taller, so they should have a little more weight as compared to the children who are genetically a little shorter. Okay, so let us understand this with the help of the formula. It would really help you to understand better. So first we discuss about adults. Okay. So this is the formula which is also called as Broca's index. And how do we do it? For men, it is calculated. Here I'm talking about adults first. Okay. So for men, it is calculated as height in centimeters minus 100. And for women, it comes about height in centimeters minus 105. So this is a formula which has been given by Broca's, but this has been accepted by World Health Organization. So this is the most easiest formula what we generally follow universally to calculate the ideal body weight. So I'll give you one case study so that you can do that, and then further I will explain you. So calculate the ideal body weight for man as well as women whose height in centimeters is 175. Would you all immediately do this? Do this calculation for men also and for women also, and tell me the answer. You can type it in the chat box. For men, this is the answer, and for women, this is the answer. Like that, you can type it in the chat box. The formula is there in front of you. Put the value over there and then calculate it. So very good. Faisal has calculated it. Abdul, could you also please calculate it? Very good. Very good. 175 minus 100. Very good. Men answer is 75. Women is 70. Very good. I guess everybody is very pro in the calculation. So I am extremely happy. Very good. Good. So as I am receiving the answers, so this is giving me confidence that you have understood this calculation. Okay. Now we move forward from here. We all know. Yes, please.
The unit will be kg, right?
Yeah, of course, of course. Unit would be kg, of course. So from here we move to a concept of, I hope you all would agree with me that how come, it is possible for every man who is 175 centimeter to have same kg weight? Because we all have different body types. You remember? We have done the other day the concept of the body types, what we basically call as ectomorph, that is lean body stature, then mesomorph, athletic kind of a body, more muscle mass, endomorph, which are little stocky in their appearance, that is more adipose tissue also and more muscle mass also. Do you remember, all of you? This must not be mentioned in your DNHE books. So you have to write this down, these three names. Do you remember we have done this concept? Probably in the first session only I did this concept with you. Okay, good, very good. So when, you must be looking across in your friends also, that there are certain friends of yours who are a little lean body stature. That means their skeletal frame is a little lean. It's a little narrow. So their body weight, in spite of the factor that they have same height, would be little different from a person who is a mesomorph. Mesomorph means who has a very athletic kind of a body and more of the muscle mass. So that is the reason in this calculation of ideal body weight, we have, or WHO has decided a range. That range says plus minus 3. That means, for example, for man, if you have calculated 75, for example, this is the answer. So you would tell to that man that you need to maintain your weight in this range, 72 to 78. That is minus 3 plus 3. Like for a woman, you calculated 70. So she needs to maintain it between 67 to 73. Yeah, man, you calculated, na? Mimi 75
So
kg.
it's both for male and female.
Yeah, of course. With the same example, I'm going forward. You calculated, na, for man 75 kg, just right now with that example of 175 or whatever the answer was, and for the female, you calculated 70, right? So we need to tell this range because we cannot take like that every person who is 175 centimeter, even in the same gender, would have same dot 75 kgs if we look at this example. No, because we all have different body types. The composition in our body is very, very different. So that is the reason we basically, take care of the body types, and we give a little bit of range to the people. That when you calculate the ideal body weight as 70 kg, so if that female is 68 kgs, then also it is fine. If that female is 71 or 72 kgs, even that is fine. Anybody who is in the range of plus 3 minus 3, it is completely okay. Is it clear to all of you?
Yes, ma'am. But in case the person is a bit under this, if it's not completely within the range, but not far from the lower, range, how are we going to interpret it?
Sorry, could you repeat the question again? If the person is?
The person is below that range,
Yeah.
but not that much. Yeah.
So if that person is below that range, especially like it has to be 67, the lower range, and the person is 60 kg or 62 kg, then that person comes under the barometer of underweight. So this we would be able to understand once we do the BMI calculation. Is it okay, Parsifal?
Yeah. Thank you.
And the same stands other way around also. If the person stands above the range, what I have mentioned over here, like instead of 73, the person is like 80 kg, 85, 90, sky is the limit where you can go. That's how we call it as obese person. But with the help of BMI, we are able to know which grade of obesity the person is coming. Whether first grade, whether second grade, that I'm going to explain to you. But first, my intention is you should be learning this first. Is IBW concept clear to all of you regarding adult? Okay, so moving on to children now. Yeah. So according to the Indian Academy of Pediatrics, the formula, that is IAP, what we say, Indian Academy of Pediatrics, the formula which is given for the children is 2 multiply by age plus 8. And whatever is the answer, we calculate with plus minus 2 kgs as in terms of the range, because genetics could be a little different. For example, the child is 10 years old. So the answer would be 2 into 10 plus 8. That would come out to be 28. So in that 28, you need to give range plus minus 2. So it could be that child can have either 26 kg or 30 kg. Like that, the range we give. Would you be calculating the range for 8 years old child? Would you be doing it and writing the answer so that I get the confidence that you all have understood this concept? 8 years old. Once you are done, you can type your this one in the chat box. Okay, very good, Usman. 24. Could you write now the range also, Usman? As I have written over there, plus minus 2. What the range would be? Because genetics could also be different, na? Very good. 22 to 26 kgs by very good. Very good. Khalifa Usman, Yusuf 38 or 42? Yusuf, again see the formula, Yusuf. Again see the formula. I show the formula once again. Please see the formula once again, Yusuf. It is 2 into age. Here the age of the child is 8 years. Only 8 years. So 2 into 8 is 16. 16 plus 8 comes out to be what?
Okay, I thought the age was 18, ma'am.
Oh, acha acha. Nahi nahi. When it comes to 18, then it is no more a child. It's an adult.
Okay, understood.
Got it. Good.
Please, ma.
Yes.
I've heard in the past that this formula cannot be used in children aged more than 14.
Yeah, that is
Is
true.
it correct?
Yeah, that is true. Absolutely true. Because after 14, it's no longer a children kind of a age. So I hope you all know the configuration also. What is the meaning of the word child? Somebody is born 0 to 1, we call it as infant. 0 to 14 days is called as neonate. And from 14 days till 1 year is called as infant. From 1 year to 3 years is called as toddler stage. From 3 to 6 is called as preschooler age. From 6 to 8 is called as early childhood. From 8 till 12 is called as late childhood. From 13 till 18 is called as a puberty age, as well as adolescence, the period of transition when a child is transforming from a children stage to a adolescent stage where they are entering into adulthood, where there is going to be changes in their secondary sex characteristics, that is development of breast, development of beard, development of pubic hair, and so on. So when I write the word children, definitely 15, 16, 17, 18, they are not children. They are adolescent. So definitely this formula is not for them. And adolescence is actually the age which is very, very confusing even for the researchers. The reason behind it that lot of adolescents, they are acquiring adult height, but their organs are still maturing. So what we should do, should we keep them in adulthood because they are no longer in childhood? So that is the reason in the adulthood, sometimes we are not able to decide. Like if you check any of the government website, you would never be able to find a proper kind of a formula to calculate the adolescence uh, weight as per their height. The major reason is it is a transitional period. Is it okay, Parsifal? I hope we are both are on same page.
Yes, I understand.
Yes.
Thank you.
We are adding also, we are subtracting also, Abdul. That's why we call it as range. Like if your answer has come 24, for example, okay, I'm just taking an example. If your answer has come 24, that means 24 minus 2 goes out to be 22, and 24 plus 2 comes out to be 26. So this is the range what we are discussing. Is it okay, Abdul? Okay. So, Mimi, you are saying you haven't understood the formula. I need to repeat. So, Mimi, uh, Mimi, could you see this over here in the chat box? It is 2 into age plus 8. This is a formula. So whatever is the age of the child, you put it in this age, multiply it with 2, then add 8 to it. And whatever is the answer, you do plus 2 and minus 2 in that. That's how we cover the genetics as well. Because every child who is 9 years old cannot have the same weight because the parents are different, the genetics is different. So we give a little bit of cushion as per the range, plus 2, minus 2. Okay? Mimi, have you understood this now? Okay, that is fine. Okay. All right. So this is the major. Yusuf, I have already written the formula for calculating the women ideal body weight. It's same as man, just the after the subtraction, I'm going up for you. If you can see, for men it is height in centimeter minus 100. For women it is height in centimeters minus 105. Okay now, Yusuf?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, good. Very good. So now this is the concept of the ideal body weight, where we discuss about that the ideal body weight formula, what I have written over here. Here we have seen that World Health Organization is guiding us that if you are of a certain height, you need to be of this certain weight. And if you are of a certain height as per in terms of different gender, men and women, then also there is a slight change in your weight. Okay? And in children, as I said, till the time they enter into puberty, this is something the which Indian Academy of Pediatrics, which basically tells us. And after some period of time, the most confusing age, the most challenging age in the stage of a person, which is called as adolescent, where there is a huge transformation, where there is a growth spurt, there are the growth occurs at different level to different I would like to say adolescents, that there are certain adolescent who would be growing like anything in terms of height at the age of 16, and then there are others who would be getting this growth spurt at the age of 18. So this is something which could be different. And the most challenging stage or the state in the life of a living being is definitely the human, is definitely the adolescence, the transitional stage from childhood to the adulthood. Now we move on to next calculation. Now you have calculated ideal body weight. Let us take an example that the ideal body weight of a person is 65 kgs, okay, and that person happens to be a man. Okay, now we need to calculate the body mass index. What? The man of 1.7 meter tall. Yeah, that's right. That's true, Yusuf. That's fine. Correct. So now the ideal body weight, we are taking an example of a man is 65 kg. Okay. But that man actual weight, ideal means you should be like that. But when we saw the actual weight, which we also call sometimes as present weight, it is right now, it is 90 kgs. So there is a difference. Okay. Difference means the ideal body weight is 65 kgs. It should be 65. And the actual weight or the present weight as of now of this man is 90 kgs. So what is the difference? That means 90 minus 65 kgs. So what is the basically difference what you are getting? It is of 25 kgs. That means, yeah, that means this particular man is extra 25 kgs in that height. He requires to be 65 kg or maybe upper limit 68 kgs. Yeah, that connection was not coming. Now the connection is okay. Yeah. So that man needs to be 65 kgs, but that man is 90 kgs. We all understand that that man is obese, definitely, by 25 kgs. But there is a calculation what we do, what is called as BMI, that is also called as body mass index. So when we say body mass index, what is the formula for this? The formula is present weight. The units would be in kg divided by, I know I am not physically present in front of you. If I would have been physically present, I would have done this on board. But I am also trying to justify the things in the chat box so that, you know, this gets recorded and you all can scroll down while you see for the recorded session. Okay. So present weight in kgs divided by height in meter, but you need to do the whole square of this. 2 superscript means if some man is, this is a formula, means if some man is 170 or maybe if I see this formula, then that man is 165 centimeters, right? Then only the answer is 65 kgs. So if this man is 165 meters, that centimeters, sorry, then if I convert this into meter, the answer would be 1.65 meter, right? Isn't that is true?
It's true, ma'am.
Yeah. So you have to do this calculation. Okay. So right now, please calculate the BMI of a man who is 90 kgs right now and his height is 165 centimeter. You please calculate, all of you. Then I will talk further. I would write it 90 kgs as of now and 165 centimeter. And I am assuming that you all know how to convert centimeter to meter. No, Solihu, it cannot come 75. It's height in meter square. That means 165 centimeter would become 1.65 meter. You have to make it double. 1.65 multiply by 1.65 in the denominator. And then put it 90 on the top. So then you have to divide it. No, Yusuf, it is not 54.5 kg. No. Muhammad, it can't be 1.38 kg. No. Okay, let us do it together. I think you all are getting confused or finding it difficult. So let us all do it together. Please stop what you are doing. Okay, stop it. And please follow me. Okay. Have you all written the formula? Faisal, I think it is correct. Have you all written the formula? Height in, have you all written the formula? Weight in kgs divided by height in meter, whole bracket, and then square on the top. Have you all written this formula?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Now let us do it step by step. What we have to feed first? Present weight. What is the weight? 90 kg, right? Yes, boys and girls. 90 kg, right? Now, it's not 27 kgs, Yusuf. 90 kgs. Please, could you please all stop typing this 27, 27.2? No need. You are confusing others and getting confused. Stop, stop. So here the present weight of that man is 90 kg. You do not have to write the difference. Divided by, I have given the height in centimeter. That is 165. How to convert centimeter to meter?
Multiply by 100.
Multiply or divide?
Divide by 100.
Correct. Divide by 100. So 165 centimeter would become 1.65, right? Since I said whole square means make this double. That means 1.65 multiply by 1.65. Okay. So it goes like this. So I would also use my calculator now. You all can open your calculators. Okay. Because this is not a maths class. So kindly use calculator for this one. No need to do it by hand. So when I do, first I will, as per the rule of maths, first I will solve multiplication. That is 1.65 multiply by 1.65. The answer what I have got is 2.72. I have taken till two places decimal. That means the answer what I have got is 90 divided by 2.72. Okay. Now I need to solve this. That is 90 divided by 2.72. So I have got the answer 33 point, again two places decimal, 0, 9. It was 8, 8. So I have done the round figure to two places, 0, 9. And what would be the units? Kg, because above it was weight. Per division, what was there? Meter whole square. So these would be the units. Now I would give you one example which you have to solve so that I get the confidence that you all have understood this. So the question goes like this. Calculate BMI for a woman 170 centimeter in height and 67 kg in weight. So you have to calculate BMI and also calculate ideal body weight. So do it fast. For this woman, you need to calculate the ideal body weight, put that into the formula, and you also need to calculate the BMI. Okay? So I would be waiting. Do it. All right. So what we have to do in this calculation, I asked for women case. So here, as per the problem statement, what I have given, BMI and also the idle body weight. Now to calculate the idle body weight, what is the formula for women? Height in centimeters minus 105. So if I see this formula, height in centimeters is 170 for this women minus 105. So what is the answer that I get? It is 65 kgs. That means this woman needs to maintain her weight between the range of 62 to 68 kg. So this is how we solve the first one. Okay. Now coming to the BMI. Okay. The weight of this woman is 67 kg. So presently she is 67 kg and she has to be between 62 to 68. It seems that she is in her, she falls under ideal body weight range. She falls under this ideal body weight range. So now I need to calculate the BMI. So how to calculate BMI? That is present weight. Her present weight is 67 divided by height in meter square. So 170 centimeter converted to meter would be 1.7. Since it is square, so 1.7 multiply by 1.7. So if I calculate this, so first I need to see the 1.7 into 1.7. I'm also doing that. So 1.7 into 1.7 is 2.89. That means 67 divided by 2.89, which is further equal to 23.18. The units would be kg per meter square. So this is my answer. Good. Is it clear? Yusuf, you need to check your calculation. Probably you have done it with 65. You have done it with ideal body weight. You
Please,
also
ma.
need to take present body weight. In BMI calculation, we take actual weight right now, not the ideal body weight. Yes, Parsifal, tell me.
Yes, you said that this person fall under, her IBW,
Ideal body weight range. Yeah.
but she is 67 kg and the ideal body weight is 65. So
Yeah,
she's over.
so it's 2 kg only, na? Probably she has more muscle mass. We cannot predict all the time that the person who is 2 kg more would always be fat only. And the another is maybe her parents are tall. Maybe she is mesomorph. That's why I said the range. Plus 3 minus 3.
Okay.
है ना? Correct, no?
Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
Like there could be difference in the ethnic difference also, ethnicity. Like I am an Indian. Maybe we Indians have some type of a body type, and you are from Nigeria. Maybe the women in your country have different body composition. So how this can happen that both the women from different countries who are like 165 centimeter need to have dot exact that weight only? If a woman is plus 3 means in spite of 65, she is 68. Does that always mean she is obese? The answer from my side is absolutely no. Because, maybe there could be more of the muscle mass. There is a difference in the body type. I have explained that before also. Endomorph, ectomorph, mesomorph. So due to that only, we give this much of the cushion to every person. Clear?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
So I think we are done for today, because I think it is very, very important that all of you should be learning these calculations. I wanted to explain more about BMI today, but I would like to stop myself here because it may become heavy for some people. And I would like to continue with the BMI and the meaning of the BMI tomorrow. The first topic, what we are going to cover, is going to be BMI only. That if the answer of your BMI calculation is X, what is the meaning of that? If the answer is of your calculation is Y, what is the meaning of that? So for that, I am giving very small homework to all of you. That is that you all need to calculate the ideal body weight and the BMI of at least 5 members in your family or community, whomsoever you know. Adults, I'm talking here. Calculate the ideal body weight and the BMI of 5 people, either in your community or family members, or maybe your friends, but 5 adults. Would you be able to do that, all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So that tomorrow, when I discuss more about BMI, that if your BMI is 30, what is the meaning of that? If your BMI is 24, what is the meaning of that? We will move forward from here then. Would that be okay to each one of you?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Good, very good. Because in case study, idle body weight and BMI are just calculations. But to understand the meaning of the BMI is something that makes the all difference. Got it? So to measure the height of a person, yeah, it should be from head, okay? And it should be going till the toenail. And the person should be standing erect, and the feet doesn't has to be like this. It has to be like this, a little apart but joined from the back. By this manner, we take the height of an adult. But you have to do it in the centimeters and then convert it into the meters. Okay, Mustafa?
Yes, ma'am.
So tomorrow also I expect all of you to be ready with copy, pen, and if required, even calculator, so that we can understand this concept more. The application of this concept, that why it is important to calculate BMI and idle body weight. With the help of idle body weight, we come to know whether you are in that range or whether you are above or under that range.
Please,
But
ma.
why do we calculate, the BMI? What BMI actually tells us that we would do. So, Ayuba, the meaning of the word hypertrophy and hyperplasia, it's not hyporplasia. The meaning of the word hypertrophy is increase in the size of the cell, and the meaning of the word hyperplasia is increase in the number of the cells. When we are in our growing stage, we not only increase in the number means the increase in the number of the bone cells, we also increase in the size of those cells. That is how your organs gain a maturity. So the growth occurs with these two principles, hypertrophy and hyperplasia. Okay. In pregnancy, if you see a woman, the fetus doesn't only grow in size a little, the fetus also gains a height. So it is like that the growth is taking place, increase in the size of the cell or also increase in the number of the cell. All right. So could we stop here now?
Please, ma, I would like to ask, when we were talking about the ideal body weight for children, uh, we mentioned that actually the weight could be considered uh, from the perspective of height, but also from age in children.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, that is right.
Now, I would like to know if we have a formula that actually help to calculate the ideal body weight considering the height in children?
No, it's not like that. Height for that. The WHO has given the parameters, so that I would be sharing with all of you, where according to particular height, the weight is given. But again, I would like to say for children, even age also has to be considered. And perhaps I would like to say age is considered more. So, regarding the height, which covers the genetic part, that chart I would share with Joshi sir, and he would be putting it up on your WhatsApp group. Okay?
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
Because there is a list of that. But again, I would like to say, Parsifal, that in the children, it is more of the age what we consider, because age also means the maturity of the organs. However, the genetics could be a little here and there. So that is the reason IAP has approved more to be used in that formula 2 into age plus 8. But I would be sharing with you the WHO standards also. However, each one of you should be noting it down that it could differ from region to region. So, whatever that I would be sharing with you, that is for the reference. You cannot consider one numeral as a standard. That if some parent comes to you and the height of the child is, for example, 100 centimeter, and in the WHO chart it is written that for 100 centimeter the height has to be, sorry, the weight has to be 12 kg. And if their child is 14 kg, you start commenting that your child is obese. It doesn't work like that. And similarly, the child is 10 kg instead of 12 kg. You can't use the word that, it is, I would like to say that it is underweight. No, the genetics could be different. So, since the growth is very different in different people, that is in terms of children, and it could be also different as in terms of ethnicity difference. So, that is how that I would share with you. You can check that. So, Mohammed, first is I would like to say Z score. Z score is actually the statistical analysis, and the WHO chart, which I'm going to share with all of you, that already covers the Z score, that covers the standard deviation as well. That means if a child is minus 2 kg, whatever is required, then whether a child is underweight or not. Further minus 2 kgs, that means 4 kgs, then whether a child falls under the undernutritional status. That is basically the pediatric formula with the Z score. However, you should note Z score basically is a statistical analysis. You don't get the calculation, Solihu, but which calculation you didn't get? Which calculation you didn't get, Solihu? That's okay, no problem. You please practice it once again. I have given the formula, Solihu. You at least please practice with that formula. And tomorrow, when we meet, I would be discussing that again, as I just said to you. So please don't worry. It is the first day, so we all cannot become so pro in that. It takes time to understand the calculations, and it is all about the practice. Ectomorph, what do I need to tell about it? It's a lean body structure, Salmanu. The people with a little lean body structure, they come under ectomorph category. Okay. Mimi, I guess I have told about the hypertrophy and hyperplasia almost 3 times, Mimi. That hypertrophy means increase in size of the cell, and hyperplasia means increase in the number of the cells. All right, so I shall meet you all tomorrow. Okay. One thing which I want to notify over here is that tomorrow I also have another session with IGNU. Okay.
When is it
And
now?
yeah, so I mean to say that place is almost at a gap of 1 hour journey, one side. So it takes me 2 hours to, go and then do that session and then come back. So if I am a little late, 10, 15 minutes, it's my request, kindly excuse me for that inconvenience. Although I'll be really trying to reach on time by 4 p.m. rather than 3:30. I have requested, sir, that since there are two sessions of IGNU, one physical and the another your online. So my house is 1 hour journey, one side. So I have requested, sir, instead of 3:30, if we can start it by 4.
Yeah,
So,
madam, your session is starting from 4:15. No issue.
yes, yes.
Already I communicate to the learners that
Thank you.
tomorrow's
Thank
session
you,
is
sir.
start from 4:15.
Correct. Thank you. But still, if I am 5-10 minutes here and there, so it's my request to all of you that kindly just bear with the inconvenience and don't panic. I would just be coming and then joining because it is a little back to back and neck to neck for me. But I will really try to reach sharp at time. And if it is 5-10 minutes here and there, it's my request to all of you to solve the BMI calculation. Okay? Help each other in solving the BMI calculation. And tomorrow we shall start with BMI, the meaning of the BMI in terms of application. Like today we have done 2-3 examples. One
Thank
BMI
you,
was
thank you.
23, the another was 27. But what to interpret out of it? So that we would be doing from tomorrow, and then we'll take the things ahead from there. Okay? Thank you, Salmanu,
Okay,
for
ma'am.
your appreciative words.
Okay.
Thank you. God bless to
Thank you,
you.
ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank
Thank you,
you.
ma'am. We should
Thank
for
you,
Guys,
ma'am.
collective.
you have a good night and take care of your health. Thank